Hello. Okay, I'm gonna get TikTok set up. Hold on.
I have 30 days.
Hold on. Okay, I'm ready to go. Sorry. Okay, good morning. I think I am live now on TikTok. Hi to anyone joining on TikTok. Good morning. And on YouTube as well. Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday morning, a little after 8 a.m. And I am very sore from being in the ice rink for many hours yesterday. I will not really be responding to comments today because I have something special planned. I am going to teach my first ever yoga class. And even though I have been a coach for over 20 years and I've been practicing yoga for 20 years, I've just kind of been a casual yogi for the last 20 years, not, really doing it regularly. And my coaching has been in figure skating. So teaching a yoga class is not something I've done before, but I decided recently I want to do. I want to do it for the figure skaters that I teach because the strength, the flexibility, the mindfulness, the centeredness of yoga can really help athletes perform better, especially in a sport like figure skating. And then I'm also live streaming this on my mother channel on YouTube because mindfulness helps mothers, of course, and yoga for sure, but also so I can go back and see the recording since TikTok doesn't record the lives for me to see back later. And I want to be able to go back and review. I am in a yoga teacher training course right now. So I really want to be able to watch the video back, see the lesson, get some feedback from some other yoga teachers, what I could do to improve, all of those things. So obviously, I know today's lesson's not going to be perfect. Again, a reminder, I am not a certified yoga teacher. I am doing a yoga teacher training course right now. And this is my first time ever trying to teach it. So since I'm a bit nervous about stepping out of my comfort zone, I printed out my lesson plan and also the flow that we're going to do today, the vinyasa yoga flow. So, okay, I'm going to take a sip of coffee. I hope that you will join alongside with me. It's going to be a pretty simple, just relaxing class today. Okay, let's get started. Now, I myself am a Christian, So if I do any kind of meditation or mindfulness exercise or yoga, I like to start with a silent prayer to myself first. If you are not religious, then I recommend that you either say some affirmations during this time, thank yourself for some good things you have done for yourself in the last week. Maybe think of 5 things like I am thankful for my body that I can be here today and do some yoga, or I am thankful that I took the time to stretch after training, or something like that. So let's just take a moment to close our eyes, feel our heartbeat in our chest, feel our breathing. Don't try to change it, just notice it. And either do some gratitude statements in your head. You can also say them out loud, some affirmations, or you can say a prayer. I myself like to say the Lord's Prayer, the Apostles' Creed, and then just a quick, short, personal one. So I'm going to put my hands, relax my hands in my hips, sit cross-legged. I'm going to close my eyes and start with a deep breath in and out, and then I say the prayers in my head. Okay, I hope you feel a little bit calmer, a little bit more centered now. And before we get into the yoga, we're going to do one mindfulness exercise. We are going to try to awaken our senses. So I want you to sit in a comfortable position. Put your hands in your lap. Just sit comfortably. You can also lay down if you want, but I think a seated position works better for me. If you have a booster or pillow to put under your backside to kind of heighten up your backside, that also works really well. Try to open up your heart and your chest area. We're going to keep our eyes open and we're going to look around our room and try to notice what you see. A good number to go for is 5 things. So if I'm looking ahead, straight ahead of me, I see the dog toys and the dog blankets on top of the dog crate, which has the 2 sleeping dogs in it. And if I look carefully at their stomachs, I can see them breathing in and out. So take the time to find a few things that you can see in your surroundings. Okay, now I would like for you to close your eyes and pay attention to the things that you hear in the room where you currently are. Very good. For me, I heard my dogs licking their lips, my heater running, and the soft yoga music playing in the background. Had some pretty birds chirping. Okay, then I want you to take a few deep breaths in and out. See if you can smell anything and notice that. For me, I can smell a very light sense from my essential oils of lavender, but not very strong. I keep it very light just to make sure it is dog safe. But it does give me a little sense of calm. The last one, and very important to start our yoga session, is to sense what we feel. So sit in your body, maybe roll a little side to side, try to do your shoulders back, turn, take a deep breath in and out. Notice the things you feel first inside of your body. Do you have any tightness in your chest? Is your stomach full or empty? Do you have any aches or pains? Do you have a headache? Do you feel energetic, tired, happy, sad? Notice the feelings inside of your body. Don't judge them. Just notice them and then let that thought go. Now we're going to move on to what we physically can feel, not internally, but externally. I want you to feel yourself on the mat. See if you can feel your body, where you're sitting or where you're standing. Notice where your hands are. Just move your fingers a bit. I can feel my pants, the fabric of my pants, the yoga studio pants. I can feel the looseness of my sweater kind of falling onto my arms. I feel a little bit of tightness in my sports bra in the back. And I can feel on my toes, my tights that I'm wearing. Those are the things I feel on my body, as well as this firm but softness of my mat under me, which, by the way, I'm not using a yoga mat. This is an IKEA play mat for my children. Okay, let's get started with our vinyasa flow now. I hope you feel really centered and in your body. Before we go into child's pose, I want to just take 3 deep breaths in and out. I'll give an example one time, and then I'll just do the breathing. Then I'll do the counting. So first like this. Okay, now 3 times for you. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Again. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Last time. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the first pose is an easy pose. It is child's pose. If at any time something's hurting you and you need to modify something or take a break, that's okay. Go ahead and do that. For child's pose, we're going to sit with our shins under the thighs, whatever way is comfortable for you to sit. And then we're going to stretch out our upper body and our arms. And we're going to hold the position for 1 minute. Okay? Very good. Come out of it slowly. The next position is called cat-cow, where we go on the knees and our hands. And we're going to hollow out our back up as far as we can, and then arch it back as far as we can. And we're going to do it up and down, each set 5 times. Okay? We're going to get here set. Good. It's a little hard to see with me wearing such a loose, baggy sweater, so I apologize, but we're going to first roll up our back here. Up. Take deep breaths in. And come out on the arch and arch your back. Back in. And out. And in. more. Last one. The next position we have is called puppy pose. This one I'm not as familiar with doing myself in yoga classes. So I apologize if I'm doing it slightly wrong, and I welcome any yogis who have some advice for me or feedback on any of my positions. Please, I welcome the constructive criticism. Again, this is my first ever yoga class that I'm teaching. So thank you so much to anyone who is happy to support me on this journey, help me through this journey. And I look forward to hopefully teaching many more yoga classes after this one. Let's go with puppy pose. I'm going to take a sip of coffee first. If you have some water, oh, I should drink water as well to hydrate. Okay, so we're going to start with the puppy pose. It's essentially a mix of child's pose and the cat-cow one that we just did. And we're going to breathe in for 5 deep breaths. And right after that, I'm going to go into downward facing dog. Okay, so if you don't know the names, I'm still learning some of them. Some of them I know immediately, other ones I've heard of, but I don't know what they are. So just take a look at the screen if you need some help. First is puppy pose, 5 deep breaths. And stretch the arms out in front. In for 2. One more. And then we'll come up into downward facing dog. You'll take your hands here and your feet about hip length apart. Flex them on the ground. And we're going to breathe in and out. And I'm going to count for 60 seconds in my head. Okay, I'll let you know when we're halfway. "30 seconds. "10 more seconds. Okay, we're going to slowly walk our feet to our hands. And then stretch your legs and grasp your elbows. We're going to do the ragdoll where you lean forward. Sorry, my sweater's really cutting my line. I'm going to take this off for a moment, please. Okay, so I'm going to grab my elbows and lean forward. This is called the ragdoll. And we're going to take a few deep breaths in and out and sway from side to side. Okay. The next set we are going to do is something called sun salutations. And we're going to do a set of sun salutations A. The first position is a chair pose. The next one is the plank pose. Now, the directions I have for plank is to do it upright on your hands. I prefer to plank on my forearm, so I will be planking on my forearm, but of course, feel free to stretch and put the weight on your hands if you want. But the chair pose will be first. We will take 5 breaths in and out, and then the plank pose, and then the Sphinx pose, where you lay in your stomach and arch back up like this, and then into downward facing dog. And we're going to do this first, just that set, and then we'll continue with what's called a 3-legged dog. So you're going to come up into what figure skaters would call a spiral. In yoga, usually when you do this, they ask you to flex your foot, like kind of like this, but I will be pointing mine because I'm sorry. Even if I end up becoming certified as a yoga teacher and I end up teaching yoga for the rest of my life, I will always be first and foremost a figure skater and a figure skating coach, and I cannot flex my foot like that. I have got to point my toes. If you know, you know. Please, if you are watching on TikTok Live, like this live a few times just to give it a little boost. And thank you so much for being here during my first ever yoga class, yoga lesson. I really wanted to do it live so I could get some feedback from people, since this is new territory for me to teach yoga. So thank you guys. Okay, so it goes chair pose, plank, sphinx, downward dog, and then 3-legged dogs into a high lunge. I think that 4 positions is already enough for one set, so we will stop before the 3-legged dog. I just wanted to give people who suffer from anxiety, like I do, a little bit of forewarning of where we're going with this set. And then, of course, we'll do the 3-legged dog sets on both sides. So let's get started with chair pose, 5 breaths in and out. You're going to try to get your knees over your toes, bend here, and your arms stretched up. On YouTube, I see you can't see it. My arms are stretched up like this. Okay. And then we're going to take a deep breath in and out. Deep breath in. Two more. Very good. Now we're going to come down into a plank. Again, I will do it on my forearm, but feel free to do it on stretched arms. When we do the plank pose, we will also take 5 breaths. Make sure your butt is trying to make it as flat with your back as you can. And we're going to come up, try to straighten out. Good. Okay. Deep breath in. In. Out. In. Out. 2 more. Last one. Good. Now you can come down slowly on the mat. Get a little comfortable. Bring your hands to your hips. We're going to go up. Straight legs behind you. We're going to go up into the Sphinx pose for 5 deep breaths in and out. If this is too hard, you can bring your hands up more towards your shoulders or try to find a middle ground in the middle. Okay? And come up. Arch your back. Try to keep your hips down. And then bring your chin up. Open up your chest. Open up your heart. 5 deep breaths in and out. Two more. Last one. Good. Now we're going to go up into the next set where we do the 1-legged positions. We've got 3-legged dog into a high lunge, and then downward dog on 2 feet, then back up to the 3-legged on the other side, high lunge on the other side, and downward dog. And then I would like to do child's pose after that set. So let's come on up. First, we're going to go into downward facing dog. And then center your feet a little closer together. Bring up one leg behind you and stretch and hold for 5 breaths in and out. Two more. Okay, let's step forward now. Put your knee under your shoulders and come up. And then bring your arms over your head. We are warriors. Let's take 5 breaths in and out. Last one. Good. Come forward back into downward facing dog. And you can move also, do a little bit with your toes if you feel any ankle cracking or tightness in your calves. Good. Now center your feet a little closer together. And we're going to lift up the other leg now for our 3-legged dog. 5 breaths in and out. Two more. Good. Bring your leg under. Come upright. We're going to do a high lunge with our arms stretched above our head like we're warriors. 5 breaths in and out. Two more. Last one. Good. We're going to come down and go into child's pose and just take about 3 deep breaths in and out in child's pose, okay? Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good. If you need some water or some coffee or tea, now is a good moment to take it. We have just one more set coming up. Let me see if it has a name, this set. No, there's no name to it. But we have 3 stretches or movements, and then what's called I'm going to say it wrong. I'm so scared. Savasana. So please, somebody correct me how to pronounce that. But I understand the concepts, and I kind of know when they say the names. I just can't pronounce them myself. So I'm really sorry. I'm going to hydrate with some coffee. If you're watching live, hello. Thank you for watching the first ever yoga lesson that I've ever taught. Please tap the like, tap the screen, and show some support. Thank you so much. And again, if there's any yoga teachers out there watching, please give me some constructive criticism and feedback. Help me on this journey as I'm becoming a yoga teacher. Okay. Now, another thing for me with ADHD is to make sure I'm doing well on time. Yes, so we're almost at 30 minutes total that we've been going here. But of course, I was still setting up the TikTok live when I started on YouTube. So it's been about maybe 25 minutes since we actually started. So I want to go for about another 5 minutes, and then we'll do a closing. Okay, the seated twist is the next one, and we will take 5 breaths in on this. We will do this on both sides. This is something that I've been Sorry. Oh, no. YouTube Live said, do you want to add effects using hand gestures? I was like, no, thank you. Okay. I've been doing this myself for over 30 years and I love it. So good for your back. And I've been teaching it in figure skating also for over 20 years. Okay. So you're going to cross one leg. I like to start with the right leg stretch. The left leg, you can see, crosses at the knee. Keep both of your butt bones, your sitting bones on the mat. You have your left knee ahead of you. Take your left arm, elbow, and twist. And try to look behind you. Twist as far as you can within reason. You don't want to be in pain. And take 5 deep breaths in and out. Last one. Okay, the next side. Cross your right leg over your left one. Get your right elbow at your right knee, and then twist the opposite way. 5 deep breaths in and out. One more. God, that felt so good on my upper shoulders from being so tight from all the hours in the ice rink. Yes, knees to chest. We're going to lay on our back, bring our knees to our chest, and rock side to side. This one is great for your lower back. That's why it fits so well right after the previous one that we did with the seated twist. That was so good for your shoulders and upper back. And then this one really is nice on the lower back. So we're going to lay on our back, get our shoulders and hips on the mat. Bring your knees up to your chest and then kind of hug your knees like this. And then we're just going to kind of rock side to side and take 5 deep breaths as we do that. One more. Okay. I think the next one is Happy Baby. That one has released some trauma for me in the past. Yeah. So we're going to grab the outsides of our feet here. You're going to kind of flex. If you have tight ankles like me from being in the skates, you might want to kind of do some circles. Okay. You're going to flex your feet and we're going to grab on the outside. We're going to bring our feet up here and try just to relax. And we're going to breathe in and out 5 times. One more. Good. Okay, so this last one, I'm going to try to say it one more time. It's called Savasana. This is where you just lay on your back, stretched out, so completely flat. And we're going to try to, meditate here in this position. So whatever's comfortable for you, you can also open up your chest, bring your arms to the side. You can stretch them up here. Just try to relax all of your muscles. And we're going to stay here for about 2 minutes. And I'm going to kind of walk you through it so that your mind doesn't wander and that you don't stop, okay? So close your eyes, get comfortable. Let's start with 3 deep breaths in and out. I want you to stay with your eyes closed. Try to relax the muscles in your face. If you're grinding your teeth or burrowing your brow, your forehead, try to soften your face. If you feel your shoulders tensed up, try to let them fall into the mat. I want you to take your hands and bring your pointer finger, your index finger, to your thumb and relax the rest of your hands. And you can leave this somewhere on your hips or on the ground and try to just relax first for a few seconds in that position so your hands loosen up. Now, straighten out your fingers in any position you choose and try to become aware of every finger. First your pinky, then your ring finger, your middle finger, your pointer finger, and your thumb. Good. Now, whatever position your arms are in, try to feel the blood flow from your wrists going up towards your elbow. Notice the feeling of your elbow and feel the blood flowing up into the shoulders, coming into your chest where your heart cavity is. Notice how your heart is beating right now. Is it beating fast? Is it beating slow? Don't try to change it right now. Just notice it. Now come into your stomach. Try to feel your breath in your stomach. Take a few deep breaths in and out. Good. Notice your hips and your pelvic bone going down to your thighs. Feel your knees into your calves and shins, and then your ankles. Feel your heels in the ground and bring your blood flow all the way through to your pinky toe, and then the second toe, the middle toe, the next toe, and your big toe. Good. And just take a few seconds, a few moments now to think about your intention for the day. What do you hope to achieve today? You can choose a word or a sentence. My word is going to be relaxation, and my sentence is that everything I do in relaxation. Let's take 3 deep breaths in and out to close. In, out. In, out. Last one. Okay, let's turn to the side. Come out of the position very slowly. Good. My hair looks a mess. Thank you everybody so much for joining me for my first yoga class I've ever taught. Again, feedback is welcome. I'm just going to say a closing for the more spiritual or non-religious people. You can go ahead, bring your hands to your chest and bow your head and say namaste. If you're a Christian like me, you can say amen with your prayer hands. I like to do both. So we're going to start with namaste. Namaste. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. I'm going to close the YouTube live now. Thank you so much to everybody who watched. And now I'm